Alola friends, Dapper Drabby here, and welcome back to another day of Theme Deck Corner, series that we're borrowing from a friend. He did very well with them, so we're going to be taking over a little bit, as well as we're going to one of our other friends is doing some as well, and we're going to have a battle soon between the two theme decks to see which one is actually better than the other. So today we are taking a look at Blazing Volcano, the Entei deck from Lost Thunder, and we're going to take a look at it in just one moment. Okay guys, and we are back and start the music here, and we're going to take a look at Entei here. Entei is the 130 HP basic fire type with Fire Fang and Eruption. The main attack in this deck is Eruption. Each player discards the top card of their deck. It does 60 more damage for each energy card discarded this way. So primarily you're going to be trying to hit for 140 by using a Macargo to put that fire energy on top and then erupt right into a fire energy and hit for 140 against your opponent. Now we played two of these because that's what they came, and this artwork is pretty bonkers. That's some crazy artwork. It's weird that the hollow is kind of like this rather than like if just the flames were hollow, that would be pretty slick. This is some really powerful artwork though. And then Fire Fang also does burn, so I mean there's plenty of burn stuff, and Fire Fang is no joke. But I do believe this is kind of a better Entei than the Entei GX that we already have. So looking at our other Pokemon, we have a Smeargle for that stunning likeness. Your opponent reveals their hand. You take the effect of a supporter card you find there as the effect of this attack. It's pretty decent. You can use their Sightseers, the Kukuis, their Lilies, whatever they have in there. You can use with that stunning likeness. We also have a Houndour. I believe we play a 2-1 line. Let me double check that. No, it's the 3-2 line. So you're gonna see a lot of this guy. A lot of Houndours. You get that Team Hunt, which can be as good as a collect on an Lapras if you have 3 Houndours in play, or it can draw one for the single Houndour that this one is. And that one evolves into Houndoom, which has that nasty plot, which is an amazing attack. Search your deck for a card and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. That is a very good attack to get started with. Very splashable since it's a colorless energy. But in the long haul, it is a little slow. I will say that. Simply because, Sylveon, you energy evolution Sylveon, and then you can do that, and Sylveon searches for 3. This only searches for 1. So it's a little slow, but it's good for starting out. Teaches you a little bit of basics on how you want to use your decks to the best of your advantage. And then Attack Operation is a very interesting attack. It does 50 damage, but if you have more cards in your hand than your opponent, it does 80 more damage for a total of 130 for 2 fire energies, which is a very, very good attack, I think. It kind of surprised me at the end of my Raikou video, being able to attack me because I had 8 cards in hand, but guess what? My opponent had 9, and voila, it hit for 130, 130, 130. I was donezo. Moving on, we have the new Slugma with Stampede and Flamethrower. The only big difference is this one has 80 HP, the other one had 70. They're both heavy, so it is what it is. I believe this is a 3-1 as well, similar to... No, it's only a 2-1. It's a 2-1 Slugma line here. So you got Smooth Over. You gotta protect this guy. This guy is the whole way your deck works. You gotta... and it's a very good card to get a hold of. This in an Oranguru, they create a great draw engine for starting out players, and can teach you some really good budget friendly decks, and really makes you think on what you have to do. Teaches you like what you need to be thinking of during a match. What do you need on top there? So you do get a Smooth Over in this deck, which is pretty good. And then this one gave us some crazy cards from Celestial Storm. Gave us the Torchic Blaziken line, so that you can bring those fire energies back from the discard pile that you're discarding and put them onto your Pokemon. So you have 3 of the Singe Torchic, 2 of the Natural Cure Combustions, and it's 2 Blazikens and that's pretty slick fire starter. I've tried to get it worked before. It's a nice, and Fire Stream is not a bad attack either. It does 90 and then spreads 20 to the damage. It's a really good attack if you get it going. It's just it is a Blaziken, so it's hard to get it going right away. And then that, because you're playing that, you have Heracross here with Powerful Friends, which is a throwback to Miltank. Miltank did it for 1 energy though, while Heracross does it for 2. So this deck has a split of grass and fire energy, so you can Powerful Friends for 120 damage from your Heracross. And it gives you 1 of those, and then 1 Shuckle. And that's a Fresh Squeeze, really works well with your Blaziken. You discard fire energies early on, and then you can bring them back with Blaziken. Because you do play grass energy, you can actually use energy drink as well, putting 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile onto your Pokemon any way you like. A very good uncommon card with Fresh Squeeze ability. There's so many decks that want energies in the discard, so Shuckle just is an instant, at least 1 of, probably 3 of in those decks that want energy in the discard. Malamar's gonna want it. The Naganadal's gonna want it. Blaziken's gonna want it. So there's so many cards that want energy cards in the discard. Alolan Executor loves this card because it has different basic energy types, and you can just get a Shuckle with a Professor Elms because it has 60 HP, and then play it down, and you are set up as an Alolan Executor ready to attack. So Shuckle is a great card to get, and I'm trying something out with the Heracross as well. Moving on to the trainers, we have a big Malasada, healing 20 damage, getting rid of a special condition, a couple of Nest Ball, so you can get your Pokemon down on the bench, a couple of Rescue Stretchers. So these 2 themed decks, buying them both, you get 4 Nest Ball, 4 Rescue Stretcher. That's a very good start to a deck as a beginner. You got a Switch, 2 Timer Balls, and 1 Ultra Ball, so you got a total of 5 Ball Searches, which is, I believe, a little uncommon for themed decks and themed deck corner. We got a Copycat, Guzma, which is a very good supporter. That's a supporter you want more of. As you can see, I have 5 locked ones, but yeah, you want at least 4 locked ones, because this used to be a 4 of, and it can always go back up to a 4 of in decks. It allows you to pick the cards that you want to knock out, the ones that you can knock out, and that's the good thing about Guzma. We got Kahili, which is a really cool new supporter card. You draw 2 cards and then you flip a coin. If heads, you get to get Kahili back into your hand, which is really cool. It works really well with Macargo as well. You can smooth over Kahili, and if you hit heads, you can Kahili again the next turn. So I believe it's really good setup, and you get to exactly what you need. You got a Lily here, which is a very good draw supporter, pretty standard. Became standard once N and Sycamore left the format. We have a Mallow, which works pretty well with your Eruption attack as well when you can't seem to get the... So with Mallow, since you can't, if you're not smoothing over, you can Mallow. You can put the fire on top, and then a draw supporter or something you need for the next turn underneath of that, so that you can get the 2 cards you need. Pokemon Fan Club, get your basic Pokemon out. Kukui, which is a very good draw supporter. I obviously have way too many, but draw 2 cards is wonderful with Macargo, but then doing 20 more damage is almost necessary in majority of formats lately. So Kukui has seen a lot of play just for that 20 plus damage. And then Sightseer is a new draw supporter. It's really good. You discard whatever card you don't need, and then you draw until you have 5 cards in your hand. Works well with cards with cards that want energy in the discard, like Blaziken, as well as Naganadel and stuff like that. So Sightseer is a very good new supporter. We get a Tate and Liza, lets you switch, or Shauna is what I call it, because you can switch from your active to your bench, or you can Shauna, which is shuffle your deck into your hand, or your hand into your deck. Yes, shuffle your deck into your hand and then draw 5 cards. Yeah, I guess that's the way I should say it. So a lot of good supporters in these 2 decks. I'm going to exit out of here. A lot of 1-ofs, which you usually want multiples. Like you get 2 Kukuis, which is not bad, and 2 TV reporters, which is a good starting point. But some decks actually do prefer a TV reporter because you discard energy that way. So not bad draw support start to begin with. Especially if you get both decks, if you combine them, you can kind of get some really cool things going on. I'm not sure what you'd want from each. Probably the Naganadel from the other deck. Yeah, I don't know what else you'd really want from that other deck except for the supporters, but you could actually really build something that could actually function pretty well to start off with in this format. So with that, you know, the cards I think are notable is, you know, you get yourself a Mascot, which has proven itself to be good. Shuckles, I think, is amazing. Entei can actually attack for some pretty good numbers. You get a Guzma, couple Kukuis, and a Lily, which are all good cards to get. So if it's worth the $12 to you, I'd say go ahead and get it, because, you know, Guzma alone I think is worth $3.50. If you guys want to know that. But let's go ahead and take this to the versus ladder. See if we can get 3 matches in on this one, just like we did with the Raikou. So we already have it pulled up. It's in theme decks. Let's just go ahead and press play. See if we can get to that Gliscopod, actually. So we did have some pretty good luck with the Raikou deck, but we're going to see, you know, what can Entei do? What can Entei do? This other this other legendary beast. What can it do in the TCG here? There's always an option with Entei too because of the burn. You can always pair them up with a Monferno deck. Monferno is a stage 2 Pokemon that increases burn counters between turns. It increases the burn counter from 2 to 6 between turns. And that can be pretty cool. Look at this fire. Look at this amazing coin. Let's see if we see him again. We don't see him again, so we can actually go first here. It all relies on the coin flip. If you lose a coin flip, you lose the game, right? What are we starting here with? I guess we're starting with the big boy himself, Entei. Not bad, not bad. It looks like we can get ourselves a combustion next turn, hopefully, with the timer ball. Unless it's our normal timer balls, which is double tails. I didn't even see what our opponent... Hidden Moon was considered the best deck prior, because you could you know, sit behind your Gothithas until you get your Lunala all set up, and then you could just steamroll your opponent, because Lunala does, I think, 30 or 40. I think it does 40 for every energy attached to it, so 3 energies is 120, and then just above that is just one-shots. Wow, our opponent looks like Kukui. Our opponent legitimately looks like a Kukui. That's hilarious. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. We can go ahead and timer ball. See if we can get that combustion. And yes, we can get the combustion. That's good. I wish we could get the Mascot out, but we can't just yet. Waiting on those Slugmas, which looks like both Slugmas are prized. I know they are. That was worrisome for us half a second. But we're still not seeing any of our draw support, which is a little worrisome. We're going to have to start erupting and just hoping that, you know, stuff gets knocked out for 80. But the one nice thing about eruption is that it can also kind of mill your opponent a little bit. And I kind of like cards that do that. Because especially in theme deck format, they have no way of putting stuff back into their deck. So any milling is actually going to help you quite a bit. Ooh, they're pretty set up already. They already got Cosmoem, and they got to rake it in Beware. There we go. We got a TV reporter. Hopefully that gives us something nice. We can get rid of a fire energy. Now, I do want to do this little comparison. Oh, I already played a supporter. Never mind. I was like, I want to do the comparison of Kukui next to our opponent, and look how similar that is. That is so similar. Wow. With that, let's go ahead and... we don't want an eruption here. We want to just Fire Fang. I gotta remember, like, don't overexert. We could have eruption there, but we might have lost something that we didn't want to lose, or so we have to worry about that a little bit. But what are we facing here? This thing's gonna wreck us, isn't it? If it's a basic, does 120 damage. Luckily, we have 130 HP. But wow, that could have been bad. That could have been bad. We get another Torchic. Again, we got that Kukui who we're facing off against right now. Let's go ahead and Kukui. And unfortunately we can't Mallow as well, which is... We gotta hope and pray on this one. Okay, Eruption. Do you got this for us? Yes, you do! Yes, you do! Eruption! Eruption gave us the top deck we needed to avoid that knockout. But, I mean, right now Salandit can knock us out, which is a little unfortunate. But they don't go for that. Wow. Okay, so what do we want to do here? I kind of wanted to keep Grass Energy for the, wanted to keep the Grass Energy for the Heracross. I don't think I can, though. I think I have to attach it to Entei just so we have something there. Now we do not need the Eruption, so is there something we want to get rid of? We can get rid of Houndour, because the Eruption's going to knock it out anyways. And then we could draw that Heracross if we wanted to. But I think, yeah, we're at the point where we have Combustion, so why not grab a Blaziken? Oh, I know why, because we have a Slugma as well. So no, the play here is actually to Slugma, our Magcargo here. And I mean, we can worry about our supporters later. Sometimes most people would actually probably support her, but we have a Lily in hand, so we don't have to worry about that too much. But there we go. We can put the Houndour, since we do not need it, on the top, and then we can get draw that Magcargo next turn that we need. And there's another Fire Energy. So we have our Entei set up now. We can Magcargo next turn to put the Blaziken on top, and then Lily for that Blaziken, which is pretty good. Go ahead and do this. Smooth over for a Blaziken. And then we can Lily into that Blaziken, as well as a few other cards. And since we do have Fire Energies in the discard, we can Fire Starter here and get Blaziken set up for Fire Streaming if we need to. But this Eruption's literally just kind of wrecked our opponent. Actually, we can deny prizes here and load up our Blaziken by retreating here and then just doing Eruption and just getting the Fire Energy for Salt in the wound there. Just salting that wound by getting a Fire Energy without putting it there. I think that can happen a little bit more in a deck that plays 20 energy, but if you played any less energy, that you're going to be discarding actual stuff, not Fire Energies there. As you can see, Lunala hits hard, but still not quite hard enough. And I mean, I think our play there was, you know, Kukui, Fire Energy, and go, because I think that would have hit 160 perfectly to knock out the Lunala. So we beat one of the best theme decks, considered one of the best theme decks. So not bad. Let's see if we can get another match with this Entei, the Blazing Volcano. Which is really funny that the Hidden Moon was considered the best theme deck until I think Garchomp came out, because Garchomp gave you like the best draw supporter possible, which is Cynthia. And but I'm always surprised because that Lunala never saw any play actually, except in theme deck format where it was considered the best. Oh, we saw his face again. Now we must go second. We saw his face again. What are we facing? We're facing the Rogue Lycanroc, which means it does more damage based on our bench. If we have a big bench, it does 120. If we have a small bench, it does like 40. And I'm only saying that because we're going to let it do 40 right now, because we're at least getting 2 on the bench. We're probably going to fill it up a little bit more, but I'm going to try to keep it, since I know that this is the main card and Dangerous Rogue is the main attack, I'm going to try to keep my bench relatively small. Yes, let's draw a card. We got Tate and Liza. They got the double draw Soul Rock and the Duskull. The Dabbin Duskull. Or did I do that backwards? Am I supposed to do it this way? No. I did do it right. I did it the same way as that, right? I don't know. I'm not much of a dabber. I'm more dapper than that. We get the rock rough stuck between a rock and a hard place. And so land it down. So their bench is pretty set up already. We're probably going to... I think I do want to throw down one. I don't really want to... I could just attack for 30 this turn. Maybe that's the best option. I think... Yeah, if I do anything, I think I should Kukui first here, so I know I have that combustion that I can toss. I think normally you go ahead and Ultra Ball first there, but I felt like it was better to at least Kukui first, and that way we can flare for 30 damage. And then next turn we can set up our combustion and armor cargo. We can actually smooth over for the exact card we need and go to town. Which I think the exact card we need is actually the Houndoom. And then we just gotta hope we draw an energy. And then Houndoom can either search for stuff for us, or we can wow, that almost got the knockout. We even get a Mallow. But since we have this, we might as well do this. And then smooth over for the Houndoom, since we only have one, I guess, in there. And then we're gonna Lily and get the exact card we just put on the top of our deck. There we go. Houndoom, Fire Energy, and I actually have to keep every card in my hand here because of his attack operation attack. Normally I would probably Timer Ball and Nest Ball, get an Entei down and see if I can find that Blaziken, but since that would tie our hands, attack operation would not do the 130 damage that I want it to do. So we're gonna go ahead and keep it the way it is and go ahead and attack operation. Keep our hand size bigger than our opponent. That way we can continuously do that 130 attack. Now this is gonna hurt because they're either gonna Nasty Plot, put 2 cards from their hand or from their deck onto their hand, or they're gonna severely poison us and cause 4. That works. And cause 4 damage counters on us between turns. Yeah, they're gonna severely poison us. We're gonna knock this out, but hopefully this turn we can get the exact cards we want. Timer Ball, Blaziken, and looks like nothing else. I guess we'll grab another Blaziken, just so we have that extra card in hand that we can play with. There we go, double Blaziken. Go ahead and evolve that. We do have a Fire Energy down here, so we can Nest Ball here. We could actually Shuckle and get more Fire Energy down there, but I think we need an attacker here to start setting up. And say we could Mallow a Grass Energy and then Powerful Friends. It's not a bad idea. Go ahead and load up the Heracross. Now we could the problem with Mallowing, I think I'm just going to Macargo for a Fire Energy, because if I Mallow, no Mallow, I still have more cards than I need to. Okay, so we're gonna Mallow for a TV Reporter and a Grass Energy. And the reason why is because we can just play TV Reporter, draw 3, and then discard a card. And then we can attack operation here. Knock out that one. And I don't think they're going to get a DCE up. So we should be safe when our Houndoom goes down to be able to put Heracross up. Yeah, and they put Rockruff up. So we can go ahead and put Heracross up. It'd be pretty broken if they had counter energy, but luckily they do not. They're just going to load up the Dusk Noir, look at our hand, and say, dang it. But we did draw that grass energy, so now we can put that here. We can, we actually don't need what we put there, so maybe we're going to go ahead and smooth over here. And see if there's something we actually need. Do we have fire energies in the discard? We do, so we don't need to shuckle. Actually, I think I'm just going to grab a fire energy so I know I have something to discard. That's probably the best option here. Let's go ahead, make sure I have something to discard. And we get the Entei, that's nice as well. We can go ahead and load up that Entei with Firestarter. Okay, powerful friends and weakness causes it for 240 damage. To get that other Houndoom that we were missing earlier. So we got kind of lucky being able to find that Houndoom pretty quickly. Now my question is, can I actually Guzma? Yeah, I don't think I can Guzma because they don't have a, Oh, but I can Tate and Liza. So I'll put the Smeargle up here. Yeah, I cannot Guzma. But we can Firestarter, get another energy onto this Entei here. And we can Tate and Liza. But is that the best option? We can burn him, but he's just going to wreck us, I think, this following turn, because he hits for 130 plus 30, 30, 30. So 30, 30, 30 is 90. He hits for 120. And we have no basics in our hand, luckily. So we'll do that. Either that or we let them have this Smeargle. Maybe that's what we do. We let them have this Smeargle. Sorry about that. Let's smooth over. So we might want a rescue stretcher, okay. I think we're just gonna end our turn there. Yeah. I think this might be the last match I can really do right now anyways. Because my phone is going crazy. I hit done. One second. So I think it might be my turn again, right? Yeah, it is. Choose a bench Pokemon to become the active Pokemon. Since I'm going to... Yeah, it doesn't matter. So we still have to take a couple of knockouts here. Yeah, it's a figure. They only hit 120, so it's either let them have something or keep something alive. There we go. and we only hit 140, so we kind of need a Kukui here, and we don't have that. We could Guzma and take out the Rockruff though, so maybe that's what we do, and then we finish off with a Kukui. There's no way to guarantee we draw the Kukui though. That's what's kind of issue here. Is there anything we want to bring back? Not with that. Not with him hitting 120. I don't think so. So we can Eruption here and just hope we don't hit our Kukui. We hit a Nest Ball. That's okay. We weren't going to use that. We go as Sightseer. No, actually, did we use both of our Kukuis? That's a better question. We still have one Kukui. But we have to hit Kukui and a Fire Energy to be able to knock out this Dusknoir. And if they get another bench Pokemon, we gotta knock out both Pokemon. And we're basically finished after Entei. But we want to probably start loading up Blaziken. Yeah, so we have to knock out the Furfrou and the Dusknoir. We gotta hope that we top deck a Kukui here. A Fire Energy. So we're gonna have to load up a Blaziken here. And then I can Macargo a Fire Energy. Yeah, I can Macargo a Fire Energy so that Eruption hits for 140. Our other Kukui is also prized, so this is the way I absolutely have to do it. And then we're gonna have to hope that we can actually hit a ooh, I got lucky because one of their energies said no. Wow, that's a match. That's a match. So we didn't get as many matches in with Entei, but I still think we did show off what the deck's about. You know, we had a really good flow there on what we were supposed to do. You know, you get your Blaziken set up, you get your Entei set up, you want to Macargo those Fire Energies to get the Entei to hit 140, or in that case 200, which is not bad. And I hope I've gone through these decks enough to kind of give you guys a heads up of what they are about. You know, I think they're a lot of fun. They're not ones I specifically am going to go out and buy, mostly because I got all the Raikus I need from the pre-releases I went to, and the Enteis I'm not that interested in playing, and I already have Macargo, which is what I considered kind of the better card out of that. But I'm going to go ahead and we're going to open up one of these build and battle kits to see what we get out of it. And it looks like we got another Suicune. We got Suicune on the last one too. So Suicune has that Frozen Flow, which I've explained in the last one. You know, you can have your opponent switch one of their active Pokemon with one of their bench Pokemon. But now I have two of these, and it gave us the Harmonix Primarina again. But this one gave us the Wigglytuff line instead of the Naganadel line, which the Naganadel is probably a little bit better. Wigglytuff is kind of crazy though. If you have a Fairy Charm attached to it, it can knock you out for 140 damage. And with Mina in the format now, you can load up Wigglytuffs in one turn. You can Mina and then attach a double colorless, and then voila, and get a Fairy Charm on it, and you hit for 140, which is kind of crazy. I want to thank you guys so much for stopping by today. This has been Dapper Drabby. I'll see you guys on the next video, which will hopefully be a versus between the Blazing Volcano and the Stormcaller. But until then, I'll bid you guys alola, and I hope to see you in another video.